Moment, can you shut off the lights for me? Can you shut off the lights for me?
It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I blast the range down in Africa. It's gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Oh. I hear the drums echoing tonight, but she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me towards salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some unforgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I blast the rains down in Africa. It's gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Oh.
I always have to start with that video because it takes me back to Kilimanjaro and it gives me a center, and I will answer all of your questions at the end, I promise. It gives me a center because even though I have done this presentation, and I used to be a high school English teacher, and so I'm used to being in front of people and talking, I always get a little nervous when I do this presentation. I always think I'm going to forget something or I'm going to answer wrong. In fact, I did one presentation and there was, you know how there's almost always one person in the crowd that just wants to ask a bunch of meaningless questions to see if they can trip you up? I had one of those in one of my groups, and he kept asking me questions and asking me questions. And how tall is the mountain? 19,341 feet. He goes, how many days does it take? Well, it can take between 6 and 9 days. And how far is it from the equator? I didn't know. So I looked at him and I said, well, based on my wall map, it's about this far. I've learned since that it's 3 degrees from the equator. But I like to start with that video and get myself centered and get ready to tell you about one of the most important things in my life. My name is Michelle Mattingly. I'm a former high school English teacher, and I am now the co-founder and co-director of the World Giraffe Alliance. We're a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to giraffe conservation. We are dedicated to education, conservation, and preservation, and our mission is to save giraffes, their land, and the people who share it with them. So I'd like to start today very, very quickly with a little background. First of all, let me get my video up here. I have a little slideshow that I'm going to share with you. One of the presentations I was at, a gentleman asked me, actually it was before the presentation, he didn't know what my speech was going to be about, and he said, what are you going to be talking about today? And I said, I'm going to be talking about giraffe conservation. And he looked at me and he said, and please forgive my language, I'm quoting, who the hell cares about giraffes? He goes, that's ridiculous. He goes, what would ever possess you to choose something like that? And I was so surprised by his response that I said, I don't know, I just love giraffes. But the fact is that he did me a favor. This was a solid for me because I realized then that not everybody knew what I knew. Not everybody had had the experiences I had. So I started thinking about it and I wondered, is it possible that giraffes are just a whim of mine? It's not really that important. And Julie, do you mind turning back on the lights for me? It's really not all that important. So I decided to do a little search. I just searched giraffes. And when I did, website after website after website came up. I went on Amazon and just typed in giraffes. And I realized that giraffes show up on everything. You will find them. Let me get this going as a slideshow. There we go. You're going to find them on shirts and socks and shoes and planters and pots and posters and prints. And you're going to find them on kitchenware. You'll find them on decals and things to put in your car and things to wear in your hair. Giraffes are hugely popular. Any idea why?
Because they're an animal and people like animals.
Well, they are, but why that animal?
They have long necks and they're very tall.
Okay, yeah.
Their print.
They're what?
Their print. Like
Their print. That's really good.
They look cool.
They do look cool. They do. You know what they remind us of? They remind us to stand tall. They remind us to stick our neck out. Giraffes resonate with us. And here's the thing about them. As big as they are one of the most gentle creatures in the animal kingdom. A giraffe stands 18 feet high. That's the height of a 2-story building. Most of the time when you go to the zoo, you're on an elevated platform, and so you can't really figure out how tall it is. If I were standing next to a giraffe right now, this would be the top of its leg. They are enormous. Their head and neck alone weigh 500 pounds. A giraffe weighs over a ton. It takes a female giraffe a year and a half to have a baby. And that baby giraffe only has a 50% survival in the wild. Giraffes have a tongue that is as long as his arm. It's 1.5 feet long. Their spots, their coats, are as unique as your fingerprints. No two are alike. Giraffes have eyes that have a 360-degree field of vision. They can see behind them. They can also see a mile away with clarity, and they're one of the few mammals that actually distinguishes color. Some mammals, many mammals, can see color, but they don't perceive it. They don't understand it. Giraffes can perceive color. Giraffes have a very essential role in the ecosystem. They are the guardians of many other animals. In fact, wildebeest, impala, zebras, elephants, and rhinos love to hang out with giraffes. And you'll often see them in photos of the savannah with all these other animals around them, because from their vantage point, they'll be the first ones to see a predator. And when a giraffe runs, everybody runs. So they hang out and take care of the other animals. They are also gardeners. They take care of pruning the trees. And I don't know how much you guys know about gardening, but trees, if they are not cut back periodically, will overgrow and they will develop diseases and die. So because the giraffes are there to eat the tops of the trees, they're pruning them and keeping them alive for shade and for other animals to have. They are also giant pollinators. When they walk next to plants and trees, they pick up the pollen and they take it to another area. So giraffes are an essential part of the ecosystem. But I am really sorry to have to tell you today that giraffes are disappearing. This beautiful, iconic animal is going away. There is an organization in West Africa called Giraffe Conservation Foundation. They're a scientific research group. And what they have determined First, really exciting news. It was only issued last year. They only discovered it last year, last couple of years. It was published last year that giraffes are not one animal. They are 4 separate species, and they are as different from each other as a donkey is from a horse. They don't interbreed, they are separate. So there are 4 distinct species and 2 subspecies.
There's only like 60% of giraffes in the world.
That's exactly right. You did the math very well. 40% overall are gone. Exactly.
Are giraffes endangered?
They are. Thank you for asking that. Giraffes are now on the endangered species list, and 1 or 2 of the species, I don't know how it's changed in the last few weeks because numbers keep changing, but 2 have been on the critically endangered red list for giraffe loss. So the question now is, what do we do about it? Well, in order to answer that question, I'm going to have to wind the clock back to before some of you were born. I'm going to have to take the clock back to 2015. Anybody here born in 2015? Okay, so there we go, the year you were born. In 2015, and I'm going to edit this a little for the audience, but in 2015 I was having a very tough time. It was a very rough year for me. I'd gone through a lot of stuff. And toward the end of the year, I felt like I had to do something with my life before my life was over. I was just about to retire from being a teacher, and my kids were all grown up, and I was very sad. And I said, you know what, I need to do something. And so on January 1st, 2016, I woke up in the morning and I said, I'm going to do 3 things today. I'm going to have a really good cup of coffee. I'm going to watch the Rose Parade, the Pasadena Rose Parade on TV. And then I'm going to buy a ticket for Africa, and I'm going to go climb the tallest mountain on the continent. I had never climbed a mountain in my life. In fact, my idea of climbing something was like a stepladder. That was it. So this was a big adventure for me. It took me 10 months of training, which wasn't enough, I just want to tell you that. And I went to Africa. When I got there, I thought I was going to be part of a tour. Oh, more things that have giraffes. And this, of course, is about the endangered species. When I got there, I thought I was going to be part of a tour that was going to climb the mountain. But what happened was no one else wanted to go that week because it was the week of Thanksgiving. So I was all by myself. So I flew to Africa alone. I went to the hotel, and when the guide came to pick me up in the van, I thought I was going to find all these other travelers. It was just me. So my guide was a Tanzanian citizen and a Maasai warrior turned travel guide. And he took me up the mountain. I'm going to give you a little picture here. Here we go. That's Mount Kilimanjaro. And by the way, I took that photo. You won't find that one on the internet. That one's mine. That's Cephas. Cephas was my mountain guide, and at the time he was 33 years old, and we were strangers. He got me to the top of the mountain. It was 7 days of the most miserable part of my life that I can ever tell you about. I spent most of the time throwing up and falling down. And every single day I said to him, I can't do it anymore. I have to go home. And on the second day, he started calling me Mama, because I was old enough to be his mom. And he said, Mama, let's do one more day. So I'd get through the next day, and then I'd say, I have to go home. And he'd go, Mama, can we just do one more day? And so he coaxed me up the mountain. And the day before the summit, when I was going to take the top of the mountain, he said to me, still want to go home? I said, no, I want the top of the mountain. It took 11 hours of walking on that morning. We had to start at 6 in the morning, and it took me until almost evening to finish that hike. But I made it to the top. And there it is. The top of Mount Kilimanjaro, Uhuru Peak, 19,341 feet. Cephas wasn't just my guide. He became my son. I fell in love with him in those 7 days because during those 7 days, he was the only person I talked to. And he was wise, and he was kind, and he was smart. And we didn't talk about anything ordinary. We talked about politics and philosophy and science. We talked about animal conservation. We talked about our world. We talked about all the important things. We went up the mountain as strangers, and we came down as family. Cephas was the one that told me first that giraffes were in danger. He told me in 2016, before it had been published, that they were on the endangered species list. Giraffes are the national animal of Tanzania, and he was deeply concerned about them losing their national animal. What's the national bird of the United States? Do you know?
The bald eagle.
The bald eagle. Can you imagine if there were no more bald eagles? How we would feel about losing that beautiful animal that's representative of our country? That's how they feel about the giraffe. So he's the one that informed me that they were being lost, and he told me something that was equally disturbing. It's an aerial view. He told me that his people, the Maasai people, these are the indigenous people who live on the land. They don't live in cities. They live in little huts. They travel on the land. They live off the land. He told me that his people were being kicked off of their ancestral land. This is land they've lived on for over 1,000 years. And suddenly the government was telling them, you can't live here anymore. Can you imagine if someone came to your home and said, you can't live here anymore? If someone told you you couldn't live in this town anymore, that you had to move? I'm going to share something from, how many of you know what a documentary is? How many of you have seen a documentary? Excellent. I'm going to share this with you because I know that in this group there are some very bright, very curious people. And you're probably going to go and do your own internet search. I want you to find this documentary. I am sure it's on Amazon or Netflix or one of those. And I think you would find this, because you are a bright group, you will find it fascinating. The film is called The Grab. Can we get the lights again real quick? And I want you to see. Hold on a second. I don't know what's happening here. I got this thing in the way. Hold on a second here. There it is. Oh, how come it's not showing up? What happened? Wait a minute. What's happening here? Did I lose my connection? What happened? Oh, it says not connected. Okay, something happened here with our connection. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I might not be able to show it to you unless the internet decides to connect. Let's try again. Nope. Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'll just have to explain it to you. In this video, an investigative reporter, you can turn the lights back on. the investigative reporter goes into one of those communities, and an African man is explaining in his own language. He said, a white man came. He handed me a tent. He said, you don't live here anymore. Come, go with me, I take you. He forced him into a truck, he and his family, and drove him to another community and dropped him off at the side of the road with a tent. In this video, he shows the tent that was given to him by this man. This movie, The Grab, is about how organizations and even governments are going into Africa, taking the land from the local people and using it for industry. They are using it for farming, they are using it to build infrastructure for their own companies, they're using it for a number of different things. After my climb up Mount Kilimanjaro and all this information that Cephas had given me, when I got home that following Sunday, he called me. Hi, Mama, how are you? I said, I'm good, how are you? Fine, we had a lovely talk. Cephas and I have been talking to each other every Sunday for the last 10 years. He truly is my son. And what we decided is that because my experience was so profound, I wanted to do something for the people of Africa. I wanted to do something important. At first, Cephas and I thought we would just open a little bed and breakfast so people who climbed the mountain would have a place to go and talk about their experiences. But after I thought deeply about the giraffe situation, I called him one day and I said, we need to do something to save the giraffes. Because if we save the giraffes, we'll save the land. And if we save the land, we'll save the people. And he was very happy to participate in that. Then came a phone call I did not expect. There is a genetic mutation that happens with all animals. It's very rare. It happens once maybe every million births, but it's called leucism. Leucism is a genetic mutation where all the coloring from the skin is gone, but the eyes and the hair remain whatever color. So there are white giraffes, there are white elephants, there are white rhinos. There were 3 white giraffes in a preserve in Kenya. They're strikingly beautiful. Solid white with brown eyes and brown horns and brown hooves and brown mane and brown tail. Beautiful. So rare. There was a mama, a papa, and a baby. I knew that they were in this preserve in Kenya, and I kept thinking, I'm going to go and see them. This was now about 2021. I'm going to go see those giraffes. I got the phone call from Cephas. Mama, there's some sad news. I said, what happened? He said, the mama and the papa and the baby white giraffe, all dead. I said, what happened? Poachers. Poachers got on the property and slaughtered those rare white giraffes. My stomach hurt. Even today, it just makes me want to cry because they're so rare and they are so beautiful. And because giraffes are so incredibly curious and gentle, they don't always perceive danger. They were killed and all that was left were a few bones and blood. For what? So somebody could have a giraffe skin rug or a giraffe skin coat or blanket. It was so horrifying to me, I couldn't believe it. I said, that's it. We're starting this organization to save giraffes. So in 2022, we became the World Giraffe Alliance. Oh, let's see. What we do now is we are working to buy as much land as we can, because that land belongs to the giraffes and it belongs to the people. And if we buy it, we can save it for them. At this time, we have 10 acres, almost, we have 8, but we're looking at 2 more. So we have 8 acres of land that belong to the World Giraffe Alliance. We have 1 building in construction, And that building will be for Cephas and his family because they will be the caretakers of our giraffe preserve. The land will be safe, and we will continue to purchase more land as time goes by. But how are we going to take care of the giraffes? Where are we going to get the money for that? Well, we're going to build, just like we talked about in the beginning, we're going to build a little preserve Airbnb house. Just 4 rooms for travelers who want to come and spend time with giraffes. People will be able to come there and feed the giraffes. They'll be able to go visit in the Maasai village. They'll be able to do all kinds of fun things like take a safari. And from the money that we get for them staying on the property, we'll be able to take care of our giraffes and keep buying the land. If we don't save that land, it will be taken. And when the land goes, the people go, the giraffes go. And we just can't have that. So what I'm going to say to all of you today is because you are the future, giraffes are needing you. You are going to make the difference in whether or not the Maasai as a tribal people will be allowed to survive. Because as you grow up, you will be making more and more decisions. But don't think that just because you're not 18 or 21, that there isn't anything you can do. There are so many things that you can do, and I could talk to you about that forever. But maybe at the end of this presentation, you'll be able to come up and I'll be able to give you some ideas of ways that you can help to save giraffes. But right now, I'm going to show you my closing video, and I want to remind you of something that you probably already know. It's up to you. There is a line in a book called the Talmud. It's a sacred book. And the line is this: whoever saves one life saves the entire world. Let's see if I can get this video to come up. Nope. Okay. I've got to find out what the connection problem is here. Do I have anybody here who is a technology wizard?
If we go to the internet and get this, put this in as a password.
Okay. Okay, where is this thing? I cannot find the cursor. There it is. Okay, hold on, kiddos. All right, let's try. I did connect, and I was connected, so it says meeting room.
It does.
So I don't know why the other video showed. Why
I
didn't
do
this
not know
one?
either.
Well, that's really terrible because that means I'm not going to be able to do the Zoom call with Cephas either, unless we can get this connected.
Yeah, I don't know what it could be if it's not, if we're, it says we're connected.
Do you think you know? All right.
So, this is in like a slideshow, right?
Yep.
So where's the slideshow?
It should be down at the bottom, like right down here maybe. No, that's not it. Where's the slideshow? You're right. Well, it's not up anymore, so I don't know why it's still showing. Here it is, right here. Yeah, nothing is connecting.
I think. Hold on. What if you like? So.
No, nothing is working up here, sweetie. So I'm going to disconnect this and see if I can
Doesn't change up there.
reconnect it. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens now. Well, I don't know why it's still doing that. That's very weird. Okay. I have no clue why it's doing this. See, this is why I love to have those projectors. Oh, yay. Okay, well, sort of yay. It's not showing my icons. let's see.
Try resetting your computer.
Nope. Still not doing it. Okay, hold on. I don't understand.
I don't either. You know, when the kids are
Nobody
using
here is a
computers.
genius with computers, huh? Okay. Only thing I can do is maybe restart my computer.
Should we try restarting it first?
Yep.
Think.
All right, let's see. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Wait, let's see. Oh, technology. Oh.
Try restarting it.
Okay, you're trying to give me some grief here, huh? Enter A1, B2, C3. A1, B2, C3. There. Still not coming up on here, though.
Maybe it has to be logged in all the way before it pops up.
Well, I apologize, folks. I don't understand why the technology is being so unpleasant. But if you hold on a few minutes, what I was planning to do here, I have him on standby. I was going to do a Zoom call with Cephas from Africa. So
You could show us a giraffe.
the big thing is here is whether or not I can get the connection. I'm going to let him know. Okay. That's so crazy. Continue. I have no idea why this TV is not doing this. Why it doesn't pick? Oh, it was off. Well, let's see. Okay. So distressing. I have never had this happen. Oy. No. Goodbye. I don't know what this is.
I just realized why that's happening.
What in the hell? Next. Skip. There. Oh my gosh, but still we're not connected.
Not the icons, the bottom ones.
I don't understand that. Okay, well maybe I can do this. Hold on. Nope,
Is it at least showing on the computer?
it's just not reading anything.
It's showing the computer, but the icons on the screen don't show up. No, it does have that.
Nope.
I can't figure out why I don't get that on the screen.
Nope.
What's that
Okay.
button do?
It's just one of the function keys. I don't, maybe. Nope. You're right. It's double screens. Maybe that's it. But no. Nope, it's not. Okay. All right. So here's what my solution is. My solution is, since there is nothing we can do with the technology and we don't have a technology support person here who knows how to fix it, I'm going to connect with CAFUS on my phone, and I'll just walk around and let you all say hello, okay? So let's do that. Normally it would be like up here, but that's not going to happen. So
Hi, Mom.
hey, KFS, darling, turn on your camera, would you? Okay, I'm going to try to move this. I don't know how to remove this. I am in this meeting with a bunch of lovely young people. There we go. And I'm just going to walk.
Hi, Kafus.
Great to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Oh, yeah, we love you. We love you guys. And
We love you too.
we thank you for your time. And this is Kefas, the co-director of the World Giraffe Alliance. So I thank you, and we really appreciate your time for give us your time. And yeah, it's really good and nice to see you guys.
So we didn't get to do
Yes.
the exact things that we were hoping to do today, but we got through a lot of it, and this group has learned a lot about giraffes. And do you have anything you want to tell them about the giraffes at this time?
Yeah, it's really amazing, and I keep thanking them for participating with us. Yeah, the giraffe, it's just like, this is endangered species. We have to do something before the giraffe disappear. When we talk about the endangered species, we're talking about the rhino. The rhino, nowadays, you can't stop it. The number of rhinos keep going down, even if some organization try to protect, but nothing they can do at the moment. But for the giraffe, for sure, we can do something earlier, much as possible, so that the giraffe can be available for other generation. So yeah, you are ambassador. Together we can do this. We can protect this species, animals. We can do whatever you can do wherever you are. Doesn't matter how far you are there, but still you have something to do. So I can say for them, thank you very much. For you to partner with us. We're looking forward for your cooperation, and we believe that you are going to be a part of the World Giraffe Alliance. So to me, I can say for sure we are looking forward to have a lot of conversation. We're looking forward to you guys to be our ambassador here and there, and yeah, we can do together. Yeah.
So we're in this together, right? Okay, so here's what you're going to say to Cephas. You're going to say goodbye to him in Swahili. You're going to say kwaheri.
Kwaheri. It's really, I like the way they are charming. I like the way they are very happy.
Yes,
And,
they are.
You know, this is good. This is great. Thank you.
Okay, I will talk to you in the next meeting. Bye, dear.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. So I just want to thank all of you for being such a charming audience. You were wonderful. I want you to know that you can go onto the World Giraffe Alliance website. You can see everything we're doing. You can see all of our articles, our newsletters, everything. And you can, anytime, you can send me an email. And I will be happy to respond to it. Yes, sir.
Going back a while, where did you guys sleep when you went up?
I had a tent to myself. He had a tent to himself. And the 10 porters that went with us, they all had tents. They slept together in tents.
That necklace that you have, does he have one too? Like, cause I see that like it's like one of those where you can like connect it.
It looks like that, but what this actually is I'm Irish. So this is a Celtic knot, and it's a giraffe in a Celtic knot. Yes.
Or what was it? Come back, please.
Okay.
Aren't any other mountains?
No, it's a one and done. I got a 360-degree view of Africa. That's all I needed.
Where are you originally from?
Los Angeles, California.
How big is Africa?
That is a really great question. It is a very large continent with a lot of countries, and I do not know its mass. But it's something I will definitely look up, and I'm not even going to try to guess.
Do you have a picture of white giraffes?
Actually, I do. Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's so cool. They look so
And that's the mama and the baby.
Mama.
So you can have that. Yes, ma'am.
Would you ever climb the mountain again?
I have toyed with the idea. It's been 10 years. I have played with the idea about maybe going next year again. Same mountain. I wouldn't do a different one. Do a different route, but I wouldn't do a different one.
Was it hard to become a animal conservationist and like protect animals? Was it hard to do that?
You know, I guess it depends on what you mean by hard. Was there a lot of work involved? Yes.
Did you join a group or did you make a group?
I made the group.
Whoa.
Cephas and I did this together.
I have two questions. When you went to Africa to climb the mountain, was that the first time you went there, and how many times have you went there?
That was the first time that I had ever been there. I have been back 5 times, and I am returning in February. So if you go onto the World Giraffe Alliance YouTube, you will see my YouTube videos once I get there. So I'll be posting some videos from Africa in February.
How many people are in this alliance?
The core team, we started with just me and Cephas, but we're now 9. We have people all over the world. We have 2 in Uganda, 1 in India, 1 in California, 1 in Florida, 1 in Oklahoma. I'm from South Dakota. So yeah, and Cephas is in Tanzania. Yes?
Why did you want to do it?
Why did I want to do what?
Climb the mountain?
Because I was having a very bad year. and I needed to do something big to get myself straightened out.
Why did he call you mom?
Because by the time we went down the mountain, we were family, and he is my son. I treat him just like I treat my other kids. Yep.
So I'm gonna have two questions, depending on what the first one is answered by. But are giraffes hunted by like other predators in Africa, like lions?
Yes, they are prey to not just lions, but also to hyenas, wild dogs, any of the carnivores. They don't, interestingly, lions will only attack giraffes if there's a group of them, because one lion cannot take down a giraffe. It takes at least two. Yes, ma'am.
What are the type of diseases
I'm sorry?
What are the type of diseases a giraffe can get?
That is a really good question, and I don't know. I would like to tell you that I did, but that's more of a biology side of it, and that I don't know. But I am sure there's a Google search for it. Yes.
Like, how did you get all the food on your trip on the mountain?
Well, when you go on a mountain climb like that, and by the way, they do have groups for young people that take them up the mountain. The youngest person Cephas has ever taken to the top of the mountain was 9 years old. And the oldest person he's ever taken was 87. And he specializes in high-risk people who want to go up the mountain. That's why I got him, because I was 58. And so he was like, yeah, I'll take care of you. So, yes, so what you do when you have a group like that, you have a group going up the mountain, they provide you with everything. They give you a tent, they give you a porta potty, they give you food. Everything is taken care of on the mountain for you.
Like, oh, so it's just like there along the way, or like?
No, they carry it up the mountain. The porters put this stuff on top of their heads. There are 10 of these big, strong guys, and they carry the stuff on top of their heads, and off they go. Yes?
What is the current population of giraffes in the world?
Last number I saw was 117,000.
You said there were multiple species of giraffes. Do you know any of them off the top of your head?
Yes, I do actually. There is the southern giraffe, the northern giraffe, the Maasai giraffe, and what is the one that I am missing? Northern, southern, Maasai. The Nubian is a subspecies. Can't remember the other main species. But northern and southern, reticulated. Reticulated is the one that we see the most in the zoos because they look like they've got patches and it looks like a puzzle. It's like this one. No, this is a Maasai giraffe. The Maasai giraffe has a pattern that looks like an oak leaf.
Yeah.
And they have the darkest print. Mm-hmm.
Can there be more than one World Alliance like for animals? Like, is there another? Was you the first person that ever created a World Alliance for giraffes?
No, there are lots of giraffe conservation groups. Ours is the only one with that name, and do you know why we have that name?
Why?
Well, let's see, do I have something with the logo on it? Oh, you guys saw it earlier. You saw the little logo that looks like a little squiggle? Where's that little squiggle? Let me find my squiggle. Okay, you see this little squiggle on the back? If you look at it looks like a giraffe, but you know what it is really? It's a T, it's a W, it's an A, and it's a G. The G is in the tail. And the reason we chose the name, the World Giraffe Alliance, was because we wanted the letters TWGA, and I'm going to show you why. We wanted those letters because, come on now, did I pass it? Hold on, there it is. Because that's the word for giraffe in Swahili.
They call it
Twiga. It's pronounced Twiga. Twiga, so we chose TWGA. So it's the World Giraffe Alliance. Yes.
How do you say goodbye in Swahili then?
Kwaheri.
Kwaheri.
Yes.
Do you know like most of their language?
No, I would love to. And I get teased all the time by Kafis. He goes, how are you going to live here if you can't speak Swahili? And sometimes he says things to me in Swahili and makes me figure it out. So yes, it's tough. I do know the word for friends. Marafiki means friends. Did any of you see The Lion King, the cartoon one from Disney? Okay, so in The Lion King, the monkey, what was the monkey's name? Rafiki means friend. That's the Swahili word for friend. And the Swahili word for lion is Simba. Those are actually Swahili words. Okay, well, thank you, kiddos, for being here. And I'm thankful to your teachers for bringing you. Thank you so much. You were fantastic. And if you want to come up and ask me questions, but I'm going to let you guys go. You probably need to get back to your class and get your backpacks and stuff. But thank you. Asante sana.
Does Kafis still take people up the mountains?
Yes, he does.
And wouldn't it take like 2 weeks